Ever wanted to fish but not know what is used for what or how to set it up? Fishing has many types of lures and ways to use the lures, and they can get kind of confusing. Every lure has a way to set it up and how it's supposed to be used. If you set up a lure and use the lure wrong, it can not catch fish, or it could break off or not work at all. Fishing is a great way to pass time or just relax, even if you don't like the type of fishing like sitting and jigging for sunfish. There are many other types of fishing you could try, like casting for bass or trolling for walleye or northern. There are many. The purpose of this speech is to show and teach you how to set up and what certain fishing lures are used for what, and some history of my favorite lures. The first lure is the wacky rig, which is just plastic worm with a normal hook, and all you do is just take the hook and then the worm go through the middle, and that's all it is. But there are some things like the wacky tool, which has these rubber rings on it. It's kind of hard to see right there. And you take it, put the worm into it, push it, the ring onto the worm, so you have the black ring on the worm. Then you take the hook, put it sideways but mostly straight over the thing, and then this will look different than what it normally is, but it stays on, so if it rips, it doesn't come off. The wacky worm was said to be made by some first-time fishermen that just went in, grabbed some of these worms and just did it like that, just for fishing, and to try something new. There are also different baits like creature baits, which look like creatures. This one's a crawfish, and these are set up differently. Normally you would have, this is a big one, but normally you have like these sliding weights that go over it onto the string, so it slides up and down the line. And to put these on, you stick the hook straight into the head, just a tiny bit, pull out like that, go up, twist it so it's like that, and then push it through the body. Try not to hook yourself, and then once you have it through the body, bury the hook, and that's how you have a creature bait. With this weight, it would sink to the bottom, then you just slide it across the bottom of the lake. And then for my favorite type of fishing lure, for this type of them, which is called finesse, is the Ned rig. You have these certain type of hooks with a mushroom type weight on the top of it, and also a hook to keep these smaller worms on. For these, you just push it in. It is different for how big the hook is, for how far you want to thread it on, but I normally have it starting to go straight. You push it through, and then you just push it up all the way. And then this is what it would look like. And then this one, you just bounce off the bottom of the lake. And another type of fishing lure that I use the most are swim jigs, which are just hooks with weight on it and a skirt. For these, you mostly want to have tails on them, which sometimes I use these or stuff that mimics fish more. But for this, you want to take the hook, make sure the skirt's all the way down, move the weed. This thing right here is meant to stop weeds from getting on the hook. So you want to move that down, take this, push it, do the head. So with these, you can either try and make it weaveless, with kind of like this one, or with these, you do kind of like with this one and just thread it on like that. With this type of tail, it's hard because it's completely hollow. So normally you would have ones that are completely filled in like this. And for tails also, you want to have separate tails like this and like this instead of just one straight one. Then there are also lures that float on the top of the water called top water lures. There is frogs, ploppers, which I lost mine and didn't get anymore, and then whopper ploppers, which I'll talk about, and then a lot other ones. For frogs, this one you just throw on lily pads and then make it jump like a frog by whipping your rod. And normally for these you want to cut one of the tails shorter so it goes back and forth more. And then for floppers, which I don't have, those ones you just throw in and then just like whip your rod so it plops in the water, because that one has like a divot in the front of it, like a bowl. And then for water plopper, these ones you throw down and then you reel and then this thing spins, catching the water and making a plopping noise. These ones are very expensive for fishing lures, so if you don't know how to like cast and make sure you're doing it right, I wouldn't get one of those for first beginners. And then that is very little of the type of fishing lures and fishing lures there are. Like there are trolling ones, which you can have grappling